You are welcome. Yes, I am not going to take our time because already we have our father on seat and we know what a network and internet service could be there. So I will, in 1 minute, I'm going to ask our daddy to unmute. But while I am saying that, we have a topic to chat with our father here today, which we call the independence of Yoruba nation. Now, the role of diaspora, achieving Yoruba independence, role of diaspora. And I want to believe in different capacity. But we also want the Allah to also put us on check and to also guide us the way he has always been doing. But before I ask them to unmute, let me quickly introduce one of the projects we think is very, very important for us in the diaspora that we embarked on recently, but which I forgot to mention in our pre-chat yesterday. And that is the IDP camp project. Just yesterday or 2 days ago, I got àwọn Fulani, àwọn ará òkè ọya tán ní wípé àwọn ń fún àwọn èèyàn wa ní 30 days ultimatum, pé in which àwọn governor ò bá ti lè compensate àwọn máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní máa dé pẹ̀lú wọn. And I know about 3 months ago here, láti rí pé wọ́n gbọ́wọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ bọ̀, and we started putting together, and our people on their own, out of their generosity, we have been saying, we agree here that we show whatever resources we have. Resources to be useful right now. And I think immediately we did that. Some people, even among our members here in Ilana Modua, USA, today, I can tell you we have in release of 11 acres of land donated by members, which of them 7 acres from that 11 already in Lagos area, around the Wood area. And we have had 20 plots of land also in Yoruba land, and one big event center that can accommodate 200 people at once. We have also had one number of 4-bedroom building, and we have also have about 6-room building also. We are still counting, and we believe that as God is touching you, we'll continue to see what we can do to help our people. On this note, I want to welcome our father, but if I can have a way of doing it, I will have welcomed him with a Happy Father's Day song. I don't know the one that can come to mind, but if I have the support or the help of the host, if you have a song for Father's Day that you can play for our father.
He mentors me, he believes in me, his plans for me alone keeps me moving. Happy Father's Day. What an inspiration, motivation, and self-devotion. You are my Superman. I am a hero. I call you Daddy. Happy Father's Day. You are the reason for my happiness. Oh yeah. Happy Father's Day. I am a hero. I call you Daddy. Happy Father's Day. You are the reason for my joy. Happy Father's Day.
Very much. What a perfect one. We call him Hero. He's our daddy. So join me to welcome Professor Emeritus, Professor Banji Akintoye, and Professor Adewale. So you are welcome, sir. Daddy, you can mute yourself and see your children.
You're welcome, sir.
Very much.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you for that music. And I thank you for all of you gathered here in this very important meeting. I'm very happy to be among you. And so is your chairman, Professor Wale Adenia. We have assistance here for better reception that we could get on our telephones.
Awesome.
Yeah, and we have one of the young magicians of this era.
So we are glad to hear that.
So what they are doing as a young daughter, she's the person who has made this possible for us. Between Professor Adeniran and myself, we could never have put it together. So we thank her for this wonderful
Thank you, ma'am.
So, so here we are in Ilanoma Odua. By the grace of God, Ilanoma Odua has become the frontline organization in the struggle for Yoruba self-determination. We are faced with two wars. We are fighting two wars at the same time. The first is the self-determination war, which we are doing peacefully and using our mind, our intellect, and our civilization to approach. The second one is the defense of our homeland. We are not an aggressive people, but we are not the kind of people anybody can come and roll over. So I believe that the Fulani are beginning to get the message that the Yoruba people may be decent, polished, civilized, but that you don't mess around with it. You don't pull the tiger's tail. Because if you do, you'll be very seriously hurt. And the Fulani are discovering now that in Yoruba land, the people are ready for them. Everywhere they go in Yoruba land now, there is resistance instantly. There's vigilance and resistance instantly. And we are getting reports minute by minute, hour by hour from all over Yoruba land. And I want to say congratulations to the Yoruba people for rising to that level. It's not easy for civilized people to do this. It's not easy. That's why in the history of the world, whenever a barbarian people break in upon a civilized people, the way the Fulani have broken in upon us in the past 5 years, the barbarians always succeed in destroying the civilization. Because the people are not ready, they are debating among themselves, they are wondering whether what they are doing is right, but the barbarian doesn't destroy. And so the civilization will crumble. But in our case, today, although we are faced with this very vicious assault by the Fulani savages who are
Answer. Anybody question? Let us use the chat features. Put your question there. You don't have to raise up your hand. We'll use the chat feature to answer to project your question. Pastor Sheun Adebilola, I want to few questions today.
Thank you very much, sir. Daddy, we thank you. We appreciate you, and your word of wisdom will not deplete by the grace of Almighty God. Our questions, we have few questions. Some came in the process of your presentation. Some were private chat, people private chat us, and some have been there on ground. But we have been able to pick some basic things, and some of those questions I'm going to let you address while you were making your presentation. But there is this one question that we will still need more clarification. That's with the, and the question goes thus: with the response from the Fulani government, what they have been doing on our land, and with the fact that it is almost impossible getting our freedom without a handful of probably what they call violence, that do you foresee a situation whereby the government of Nigeria will want to probably proscribe Ilanoma Odua or other group as terrorist group, whether now or in the nearest future? That is the first question. Then the second question is on the national fund.
Why which let me answer
Okay, sir.
Answer that very important question.
All right, sir.
We live in a country of irrationality. There will be no rationale for prescribing Ilanoma Odua or any other organization, any other of the organization, because every one of them has been studiously peaceful in their operations. Nobody can accuse. We're not violent. We held a rally.
To continue, Architect Akinola, I think this question has to be answered by you, sir. The bank bomb, sir, and it's on Security Light Command. People are asking questions on the Security Light Command that we need more clarification on, maybe the information that can be shared, and how can we be part of it? The role of diaspora in that.
Okay. Nǹkan tí bàbá ń sọ lọ ní wípé ọ̀rọ̀ security, ọ̀rọ̀ violence and bóyá wọ́n máa prescribe ìlànà ọmọ Oòduà kìnnìkan bẹ́yìn nǹkan tó ń sọ lọ nìyẹn. So let me just touch on that briefly. Bàbá ń sọ ń sìn pé gbogbo àwọn rallies wa they have been very peaceful and we have engaged the police at all levels. So that àwọn ọlọ́pàá ò yọ wá lẹ́nu, àwọn náà yọ wọ́n lẹ́nu.
Wọ́n ti wọlé padà.
Okay.
After George, bàbá ti wọlé padà.
Okay. All right.
Meet ara yín.
They have not prescribed any of our organizations, and we are still going on. If they prescribe any, we will then cross that bridge when we come to it. But we Yoruba people are not without our recourse in any situation whatsoever. So don't fear. If they prescribe Ilanoma Odua, something big will happen in the place of Ilanoma Odua. We are ready to move forward until we achieve the independence of our country, and nothing is going to stop us. No prescriptions, no violence from the government is going to stop us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe to add to Baba's comments, I don't think there will be any basis for prescribing Ilanoma Odua, which is a self-determination group fighting for the rights of the Yoruba nationality. If that happens, then the Nigerian federal government must have or will have infringed the United Nations law, because the 2007 declaration gives every nationality that inalienable right to press for their self-determination. If Nigeria does that, then it will put itself in the very bad books of both the United Nations and the international community. So we shouldn't entertain any fears.
We should be ready. That's it. We should be ready for whatever they do.
Thank you very much, sir. Yes, sir. I think we grabbed that very well.
And I'm very, very happy to. If there are any particular questions that anybody wants to ask, I will be ready to answer them. So there are one or two things that we are putting together that I would like to explain to you. For instance, we have set up a committee to look at the whole question of agriculture. Now, if there is a problem with agriculture, then there is a solution. Our father, Chief Paulo, used to say, there is no problem without a solution. If the Fulani are making it difficult for our people to farm, and we let it be, we are going to starve. But we Yoruba are not going to starve.
So we have come to an idea, agriculture, wonderful. It is, and our people call it Shagbe Shesho. Shagbe Shesho. It simply means that the soldier, that the farmer is also a soldier. The farmer is also a soldier. And so the idea is to create farming community acres of land, but all of the land will belong to the community. And they will design their own methods of defending their community. So much so that no Fulani will dare come near their farm. And we intend to spread that all over Yoruba land. It's going to be expensive, but it is what is needed today. Again, that is an area in which we will be coming with specific demand for resources to be able to reestablish agriculture in Yoruba land. Agriculture has virtually collapsed under the Fulani barrages, but we must revive and revive it quickly, because without agriculture, we cannot build the other areas of civilization. So a number of, if you want to ask questions about this or any other, the chairman is here, the secretary general is here.
The internet from that location is poor, but in a minute, I believe we're going to have them back. While we are waiting for that reception to get better, let us also welcome, especially like I did mention, the General Secretary of Ilana Modua worldwide. Our father, if you are there, sir, Afeke Foju Yinhan and Grade the House. That's the person of architect George Akintoye. Are you there, sir? Architect, if you can hear me, can you? Okay.
Okay. Moki Boboleo. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ní sùúrù díẹ̀ de bàbá àti Professor Adeniran kan lè continue pẹ̀lú kan tó ń sọ torí bàbá ní speech tán fẹ́ deliver ni. Mo kí gbogbo ilé, inú mi dẹ̀ dùn láti wà níbí ní àṣálẹ́ yìí. Bóyá ọ̀sán lẹ́wà ní Amẹ́ríkà lọ́wọ́ Akin, so ẹ jẹ́ ká kàn máa sọ àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ kọ̀ọ̀kan pé pápá pé kéékèèké títí bàbá máa fi padà.
Okay.
So I hand over to you, Mr. Aribilola.
Yes, thank you very much, sir. While we don't have control of whether you're going to come back in 1 minute or 2 minutes, but I know there is 1, 2 things others that are very, very important. And Timo Defe, you are also the best person to talk about it. You've been a center of our success in the United States here on our project. And the IDP project to mention precisely. When we started, we had a meeting together, and then you have also guided us on how to go about it. And so we wouldn't mind at this time, while we are waiting for Baba, if you can speak to us a little more about it. It's a project for all Yoruba people that would rise up from, especially in this part of the world. You know, so what we need to do the more, what you are expecting the more, then there is also a project you probably want to mention here, where we can also, brother, please, can you continue to speak with us, architect?
Okay, Ekalele Konsi. This IDP project, Mutiba Baba Chairman discussed extensively lórí bọ́rọ̀ yẹn ṣe lọ, and why we have to thank Pastor Aribilola and his group in the USA on this project. I have discussed it too with the Diaspora Secretariat, and at the same time I've discussed it with even the other group in the USA. So kò sí nǹkan tá à ń fi pamọ́ ń bẹ̀, táwọn èèyàn bá ṣe nǹkan tó dáa, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa pọ́n wọn lé ni. I know this project is far beyond the USA because I know Ilano Canada too is involved. We have carried this along with Mrs. Bola Sonda, you know, and the other wonderful people in Canada. So, kì í ṣe project ìlú kan. Kí dẹ̀ ni project wa yìí? Ó máa tó bẹ́gbẹ̀m ní Nàìjíríà bá ṣe ń sọ yìí. Tó bá dẹ̀ bẹ́, àwọn èèyàn wa tó wà ní Òkè Ọya lọ́hùn-ún, àwọn Yorùbá tó yẹ pé wọ́n pọ̀ yanturu ní Kano, Kaduna, gbogbo ìwọ ni Sokoto, Kebbi, nǹkan kan títí dé Maiduguri.
Àwọn bàbá ti padà ṣe gbọ́ sà.
Okay.
Yes. So, as I was saying, we are fighting towards the first is the war to liberate ourselves from partnership with the people who abhor development and progress. I've created arguably the most vicious kind of poverty known in the world, the Almajiri group. We cannot be in the same country with those. They have been dragging Nigeria down steadily since the time of independence. We have now reached a point at which they have decided that the next thing for them to do is to come over and crush us and subdue our land. We cannot allow that to happen. Not only are our people being vigilant, you, our young men, the magicians of the modern times, are creating the technology for us to be able to fight them back, fight them more effectively. I have been told, for instance, by a group in the United States, led by some engineers, that they are putting something together, make it possible for every Yoruba person, wherever you may be, to send the instant warning to other people whenever danger comes. That would be a wonderful thing when it comes. But our struggle for self-determination is aimed at finally settling this whole question of poverty, retrogression, decline, and disease in our land. And we can do it. And the best way to do it is to separate ourselves, create our own country, and begin to develop our country. But before I go on, may I say thank you for this meeting. And I welcome all of you. I welcome the chairman of Ilana Odua, who is by my side here. You can see him. Thank you, sir. And the secretary, the general secretary for Ilana Odua, George Akinola, and architect George Akinola, our very active, able general secretary. And I want to welcome Shola Salako, who is the coordinator of the Diaspora. And I welcome all of you. Let me just stop there. But let me tell you that from my heart, deep in my heart, I am glad to be among you now and to be saying the following few words. I will try and make my, you call it Papa's speech. Yes, but I will try and make it as short as possible. We have arrived at a point in the history of our Yoruba nation when we must now begin to think different from the way we have been thinking. We have been thinking like Nigeria, and Nigeria means retrogression, decline. It means self-centeredness, selfishness, and insensitive governance and leadership, and general poverty. We must throw away such things from us. Each of us must decide, I am going to make myself.
Now, has taken care of that. And then there is another question from someone that's asking for security command center. And I think, again, that the update on the light command, security light command, which probably maybe later Architect George Akinola, General Secretary, might say something about that. But I also know it's been taken care of. But this question, sir, and I think it's very important for all of us in the diaspora and to the central to the struggle. The question asks, how do we, that if for international politics, which we cannot rule out, if the United Nations refuses, another powerful agency refuses to honor our call for referendum, what's next for us? What is next, sir?
Okay, something is already happening now. I sent a message out today, actually, which should be out tomorrow or the day after. It is something that some young people in NINAS, you know what NINAS is?
Yes, sir.
NINAS is the Nigerian Indigenous Nationalities Alliance for Self-Determination, NINAS. We, Ilana Odua, are part of NINAS. And there are other organizations from the East, the Southeast, the Middle Belt, all of us. A total of about 75% of the population of Nigeria is represented in NINAS. Yeah, so this young group, this youth group in NINAS are now circulating a petition for referendum. They are not asking you to vote for a referendum. Some people started a month or so ago saying, oh, we are going to be asking people to vote for referendum. You cannot vote for referendum like that. A referendum is something you hold like an election, where people line up at polling stations and vote. That's what a referendum is. It's done openly. You cannot circulate it on your telephone and say you have a referendum, not at all. So all you can do is to now circulate a petition saying that we Yoruba people want to hold a referendum for our self-determination. Now, that petition is going around now, and I advise that we should vote and we should support it in our millions. When we have it in our hands, supported by millions of people, it becomes a powerful instrument in our hands for now agitating for our self-determination referendum itself. We can take it to the Nigerian federal government and say, this is it. X million Yoruba people want to hold a referendum for their self-determination. And you, as the government of Nigeria to which we belong, it is your duty to organize our referendum for us. Of course, we know Nigeria, they are going to say no. It's but we can also take our petition to the combination of our state governors and ask them to put together an arrangement for holding a referendum for us in Yoruba land. Now there we have a greater leeway, we have a greater strength, because these are our elected governors and we can pressurize them to no end until we get them to do what we want. That's another. But we can take our petition, supported by millions of Yoruba signatures, to the United Nations and say, X million Yoruba people have decided that they want a referendum for their nation out of Nigeria. And we can get the United Nations to agree. So we are creating the instrument we will use, and that is the petition. The petition is not the referendum. It's just the instrument for fighting for a referendum. The petition is on now, and it's being circulated from telephone to telephone and so on and so forth. I will urge our people to make a rush and vote for it, so that in the next 1 month or so, we will have a petition in our hands that we can claim to be supported by millions of Yoruba people. And then we will be in the big league for a referendum.
Daddy, thank you, sir. But before you drop your microphone, can I ask, this petition that you did mention just now, is it the same one that is being circulated by Ninas?
Ninas, yes, the Ninas. Ninas. We Yoruba will vote, when people will vote for it among Yoruba, among Igbo, among the people of the Delta, among the people, but everybody voting will indicate what nationality it belongs to. So we can extract the Yoruba, the number of Yoruba signatures, and say there are X million Yoruba people asking for referendum for Yoruba land.
It was a signal problem. Baba did mention of 2 types of accounts which we have been looking forward to. The central account for Yoruba Nation, and he did mention Yoruba Self-Preservation Fund. The Yoruba Self-Preservation Fund account seems to be something that is ready. And do we have information on this? And if there is no, people are asking across all the group, Ilana Omodua, and the rest of all Yoruba self-determination group, is there a possibility of an account that we can always send our remittance to support the struggle and the project that is ongoing? If there is one, we would like to know about this, but if it is still ongoing, we need more information about this.
Okay, the first step is this collaborative effort that I say we are putting together, that I say your General Secretary is part of. It's one of the leaders putting it together. When we put that together, one of the first things we will have to do is to determine the arrangement for funding. Things are chaotic now. There are very many organizations that have set up their own funds. There are many individuals on their own without belonging to any organization that have set up their own funds. There have been situations in which people have announced, oh, we are setting up a fund so that we can celebrate Baba's birthday. We're going to send money to Baba on his birthday, and Baba doesn't see any money, and yet they collect money. And so things like that are happening. I don't think we should pillory one another or fight one another over it. We should just know that everybody's excited. Everybody thinks they can contribute one way or the other. And there are some people who think that they can exploit the situation to make a little money for themselves. That is inevitable. We are human. We are a human society. All that type of thing will happen. But now, when we have this collaborative system put in place, the first thing will be to determine how we are going to be organizing the funding, and everybody will have to key into the new system, and there will not be funding everywhere. Fund this, fund that. No. There will be 2 funds. One for self-preservation, that's for fighting the present struggle, and then a bigger and more substantial fund as the Yoruba National Fund, which will exist prayerfully forever. And when this struggle is over and we have our country, self-preservation fund for fighting this present struggle will then be terminated. And if there is any money in it, it will go into the Yoruba National Fund. So we will have only one fund there. But now we're going to start with 2 funds. One fund where we will have money for prosecuting the struggle. Another fund where we will be building the backbone for the Yoruba nation. two different funds. And my prescription that I have repeated again and again for every fund is as follows. Every fund shall have a board, a controlling board that will be selected from all over the world, from among the diaspora in all parts of the world. 2, inside of that governing board, there will be a committee that is an expert committee, and its duty will be to receive applications for funds and to assess it and determine whether it is worthy of support, and then submit its report to the governing board. As to the management of the fund itself, it will not be done by the people who are on the board and the committee and so on, not at all. The management will be done by a respectable accounting firm. And then there will be another accounting firm that will audit the accounts of the fund regularly. And the report of the auditing company will be made available to all Yoruba people everywhere. Let me state it again. A governing board, inside the governing board, an expert committee that will assess applications, requests for money from any organization, any purpose, and will determine that it is worthy of support or not worthy of support. And then submit that assessment to the board. Then the board authorizes that money be issued to the person or to the group of person asking for the money. But the actual issuing of the money, the management of the account will be done by an accounting firm, not by, because if you just say, oh, we've elected ourselves into positions and you are running the account, there will be trouble. So a respectable Yoruba accounting firm anywhere in the world. And then there will be another Yoruba, a respectable accounting firm to audit the accounts for publication to the whole Yoruba community worldwide. That's how the Jews have organized their funds since the 1920s. And it has worked wonderfully. Every year, the people responsible for assessing such things in the United States come up with a report that the Jewish National Fund is the best managed independent fund in the United States. The best managed every year. They have for many decades now been the best managed independent fund in the United States. My prayer is that our own fund, Yoruba Fund, will also be assessed wherever we have it as one of the best managed funds worldwide. That is it.